It's about time with Rashawn. It's about time boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my about time boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to every single one of y'all, man, who has been subscribing to the channel, watching the videos, liking the videos, sharing the videos, and leaving the comments, man. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification button, that bell, to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Um, Today's episode of Rashawn's About Time Boxing is sponsored by Unlimited Staffing Agency. If you are a CNA, LPN, or RN, and you're in the Pennsylvania area or the Ohio, PA area, and you're looking for gainful employment, contact Unlimited Staffing Agency at 267-779-8915. And the code word is hashtag RBTB. All right, so there's been some talk about JARON Ennis possibly going up to 154 to they was talking about him fighting Israel Madrimov. But so I'm gonna do this thing for the dummy of the day. So the dummy of the day goes to Tim Compton. So he wrote an article, and the article, he says the unification fight between, IBF welterweight champion Jaron Ennis and WBO champ Brian Lemon Jr. is off the table. So he said promoter Eddie Hearn says that Boots, will either defend his title against his mandatory, which that they, I don't know why they could have gotten anybody to fight him, but they're gonna get, make him fight Kareem Chukasan again. He's gonna fight Kareem Chukasan as his mandatory, or he's gonna vacate and move up to move up to 154. Now this guy, this donkey, not donkey, but dummy of the day, Tim Compton, he's saying that the fans yearn for Ennis to face, the elite at 154. I disagree with that. Here's the thing. Jaron Boots Ennis and his team has been saying from day one that they want to fight the best. They've been calling for that. So because he didn't get a chance to fight Errol Spence at 147, Terrence Crawford at 147, Keith Thurman at 147, and anybody else who, former champion, had a belt and all that, it's not his fault. See, this is what I mean about the politics/politics/politishits in boxing. Boots has been asking to fight these people, but now this dummy of the day, Tom Compton, is saying that that the fans would like to see they would like to see Boots vacate his IBF title and move up to 154 and go after the big fish such as Terrence Crawford, Virgil Ortiz, Tim Tszyu, Sari Bohachuk, and Israel Madrimov. And it says Boots Ennis doesn't seem excited about taking those risky fights. And this guy, Tom Compton, said, and it's understandable why. So this is why I call him the dummy of the day. He's saying that the fans want to see Boots vacate the IBF title, and move up to 154 to go after the big fish, Terrence Crawford. Now, Terrence Crawford, yes, he's a big fish. One of my favorite fighters. I said that. Virgil Ortiz, not a big fish. Okay? And he's not a threat to Jaron Ennis. And the only reason why this idiot is even saying Sari Bohachuk's name is because of what he did to Virgil, Ortiz in their fight. That's the only reason why he bringing his name up. And then he talking about Israel Majimov, obviously because he just fought Terrence Crawford, and then Tim Tszyu, who who was a champion who lost his belt to Fundora at 154. Now, for anybody who's saying, "Oh, Boots should vacate," I don't think so. Now, Terrence Crawford just vacated, and again, I'm not slamming any of these fighters that I'm talking about. I'm just making a point. So I don't want none of these clowns, to misunderstand what I'm saying or take what I'm saying out of context and all that. Terrence Crawford vacated to go up to 154. Nobody slammed him for doing it, for him going up. What I mean by that is nobody said, okay, well, why didn't he stay at 47 and defend his belts? He was undisputed at 54. Why didn't he, stay down there at 47 and fight JARON Ennis or fight Mario Barrios or try to make a fight with Keith Thurman or Brian Norman? I'm just saying, I'm making a point. This guy saying that Boots should vacate his belt. JARON Ennis said he had a plan. He said his plan was to collect all of the belts at 47 and then go up to 54. Why should he abandon that? Because Brian Norman Jr. and his father was scared to fight? Or are y'all really trying to say this is where the politics slash politics slash politics of this business come in, and they're going to keep trying to stack the deck against JARON Ennis and Team Ennis so that they don't get these fights? But they'll make it'll probably be easier for them. And then look at Brian Norman turned down 1.5, 1.7, biggest payday of his career, to fight on Keyshawn Davis homecoming fight. He's going to be fighting that home main event in his hometown, and he's on the undercard of that, and probably making less than 500,000, or he might be making just that, if that, to fight somebody named Derek Cuevas or Cuevas. Why not take the 1.5, 1.7? You gonna say, "Oh no, we need 2 million"? Man, please. A million was enough for them to take that fight. But see, this goes to show you that JARON Ennis is the duck hunter. He hunting the ducks that's ducking him. But everybody, so Boots should just vacate his plan. Nobody got mad at Terrence Crawford for for vacating and going up to 54. That was part of his plan. I didn't hear nobody say why he ain't stay down at 47 and fight Boots. Why Boots got to go up to 54 and fight him? Errol Spence went up to 154. Nobody ain't say why he ain't stay down there 47 and fight JARON Ennis. So now these guys are going up, so Boots need to vacate and abandon his plan of becoming undisputed. Buzz is 2 division undisputed champion. So if JARON Ennis has goals of being an undisputed champion, why should he abandon that? Because Brian Norman ain't want to fight. Okay, push them out the way then. All right. So I remember Caleb Plant said that the IBF is real strict about their fighters fighting their mandatories. Now they say Chukasan they say he won the purse bid. So if he won the purse bid, then obviously, nobody, people scared to fight Boots. It's not that he's not an exciting fighter, because he's a very exciting fighter. And I think that he should mop up the welterweight division and then go up. Me personally, I don't think he should vacate his IBF title just to go up to 154 to fight Israel Madrimov or Suri Bokachuk or Tim Tszyu or Fundora or Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, or any of these guys. No, I don't think he should do it. Nope. Because other than Tim Tszyu and Bokachuk and Fundora, and again, I'm not slamming these fighters, but Bud had the chance to fight him at 47, and so did Errol Spence. So because they went up to 54 for whatever their reasons was, okay, they went up to 154. Boots should stay down there. And then the guy made a comment and said, life is easier for the 27-year-old Philadelphia native. Boots in his feet and off of the guppies and shallows in the welterweight division. Tom Compton, you are a jackass, dude. And obviously, you just writing stuff just to be writing. You're not even thinking about what you're saying. What you saying, it's not even thought out. You saying he's comfortable with fighting down there, but if Errol Spence was down there running through those guys, probably wouldn't have nothing to say. If Bud was down there running through those guys, probably wouldn't have nothing to say. But because it's JARON Ennis, is it his fault that the scope of the welterweight division turned out to be the way that it is? He tried to fight Bud at 47. Bud said no, for whatever his reasons was. So the IBF stripped him. And then he went up to 154 to fight Madrimov. And after he beat Madrimov, he vacated all his other belts. The WBA been stalling him out about the Stanionis fight. Ever since Stanionis won the belt. Ever since he beat Butayev, they've been telling Boots he was going to get that fight. But then as soon as he became the mandatory for the IBF, what did the WBA do? Dropped him from their rank from the rankings. That's his fault. I think he should stay at 47, and regardless, like, you know what I'm saying? So, if these guys will stop running and stop making it seem like that they really want to fight instead of asking, and they start and I say this, and I've said this countless times in videos. People ask for astronomical amounts of money or some outrageous stipulations that they know are not going to be met, and the money that they know they're not going to get out of trying to fight somebody just to say, oh well, we tried to make the fight happen. And me personally, I don't think Brian Norman and his father, I don't think they intended on ever fighting JARON Ennis in the first place. I think they was just using his name, to bring some attention to themselves. That's what I think they was doing. They just used his name because out of all of the champions, he got the bigger name. His name is bigger than Barrios, bigger than Norman, bigger than Stanionis. He got the bigger name. So they just used his name to bring some attention to themselves. And then look at who, and you turn down 1.7, 1.5 million to fight this guy, and you're gonna make less than $1 million fighting this guy. Why? Because there's no risk involved. But what would the irony be in that if he loses his belt to this guy? Today, if Brian Norman loses his belt to Derek Cuevas, what if he loses his belt to this guy? He's gonna wish he took that 1.5 or 1.7. Because he's going to say, damn, I lost my belt to this guy and I got less than $1 million. See, that's what y'all get for thinking that the belts give you leverage. Norman Sr., your son don't bring to the table the same thing Boots bring to the table. And to be quite frankly, Mario Barrios has a bigger name than your son does. A bigger name. And honestly, the way that I see it for JARON, I think this is my vision of how, I would like for JARON Ennis becoming undisputed to go. Let Stanionis and Brian Norman fight each other in a unification fight. And let JARON Ennis and Mario Barrios fight each other in a unification. And when Boots beat Barrios and take that belt, then the winner of Brian Norman and Stanionis, then they fight to become undisputed. And then once Boots take those belts, then go up to 54. Because listen, I'm going to say this. Now, I already said that more than likely we're never going to see him fight Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. More than likely those fights never happen. But if he never fight those guys, or if he doesn't go up to 154 right now, vacate, because I don't think Boots, don't vacate your belt, bro. Don't. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care who don't like what I'm saying. I don't give a damn. I don't give a squirt of piss about none of that. Don't stick to your goal. Stick to what your plan is. If everybody else got a goal and a plan and they can stick to theirs, why should JARON Ennis have to vacate his? Why should he vacate his plans and his goal? Y'all telling me that Terrence Crawford couldn't afford him at 147? So now Bud go up to 154 and Boots should have to go up to 154 to pursue the fight. But if he don't, now all of a sudden he's scared of Terrence Crawford. He don't want to fight him. I keep telling y'all, Terrence Crawford is not scared of JARON Ennis, and JARON Ennis is not scared of Terrence Crawford. They're just on different paths. And more than likely, those paths are not going to meet. We just need to come to that realization. And Errol Spence, come on. If he ever gets back in the ring again, he's supposed to fight Fundora. And if I'm not mistaken, he made a comment and said, you know, regardless of how the Fundora fight played out, I think he said that's probably going to be his last fight. Maybe unless he get another, you know, big fight with Terrence Crawford at 54. And most people already know how that's going to kind of play out. But JARON Ennis should not vacate his welterweight title just to go up to 54 to fight Surrey, Bokachuk, and Virgil Ortiz too. Ortiz went up to 54 because he was running from Boots. He went up to 54 because he didn't want to fight him. Now he definitely ran up to 54 to avoid Boots. He's not no threat. But me, like I said, I can't listen. I know I sound repetitive in this video, and I don't mean to. Honestly, I don't. But for this idiot, this dummy of the day, Tom Compton, to say, you know, that Boots should vacate his IBF title, or the fans want him to vacate his belt to go up to 54 to pursue big fights with Terrence Crawford and Tim Tszyu and all these people, like, man, come on. Two of those names that he mentioned, those fights could have happened at 47. Ortiz and Bud could have happened at 47. They went up to 154. So now Boots should go up to 54, abandon, you know, his goal. No, he said he want to collect all of the belts. I mean, it's a shame that he has to fight Kareem Chukasan again. He shouldn't have to fight him again as his mandatory. No. They should have this, you know, they should have a unification, elimination type thing, you know, with all four champions now. With Boots, Barrios, Stanionis, you know, and Brian Norman. And even if they did, Brian Norman probably would be the first one to get knocked off anyway. Barrios will probably, depending on who he fights. But I would love to to see them mandate. See, these sanctioning bodies be full of crap. They should sanction for Brian Norman and Stanionis to fight unification, and then Boots and Barrios to fight in unification. And then the winner of both of those unification fights fight each other, crown the undisputed champion. And then once Boots abandon, and then once Boots vacate those belts and go up, then those guys can go after those belts all over again if they want. But don't blame JARON Ennis because the scope of the welterweight division turned out to be what it is, Mr. Tom Compton, aka Super Dummy of the Day. Don't blame JARON Ennis for that. It's like you getting mad at him because, you know, the other people who's in that division is down in that division. And I don't think that Eddie Hearn should, I don't think he should advise Jaron Ennis to do that. If anything, his team, his father, his team, they all should stick right behind him and say, no, we're going to stick to what our initial plan was, get these belts at 47, and then we go up to 54. And then if Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Erickson Lubin, Surrey Bokachuk, Virgil Ortiz, and now, if all of them, if those guys are, still there and they still willing to fight when he gets up there, and then we can talk about, process of elimination, making those fights happen one by one. But right now, no. Stay at 147. You know what I'm saying? Stay at 147, get those belts at 47, and then go up to 154. But do not vacate. And there you have it. The dummy of the day is Mr. Tom Compton for writing that retarded ass article about Jaron Ennis. And salute to my guy Rebel Like Boxing. Support Rebel Like Boxing. Subscribe to his channel. And man, Philly stand up. Philly support Philly. Subscribe to Chia Mack. He has Box 29 news channel on YouTube. Man, he keeping you updated with news, that's happening, but he giving you entertainment too at the same time. So, subscribe to Box 29 News, and subscribe to Rebel Like Boxing. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and that's all I got. Until the next one.